come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
And we're back for the bonus feature.
Yeah, all right, now let's talk about the problem with black people in this country. No, I'm kidding. Now, let me
You wanted juicy stuff.
I'm not going to say it. I'm just kidding.
Let's talk about the Jew that likes Hitler.
What?
I don't. I think, anyway, he burned the right way. Anyway, so, yeah, that was awkward. Wasn't that awkward for a second?
I'm going with the flow, baby.
It was flow. It was good.
It's good.
It was all right.
It's all good.
I'm not going to drive home going, why the fuck did I say that?
No, man.
It's all good.
It's all right. I have drugs at home, so it's fine. I don't really. No, maybe I do. You don't know me. So, man, I tell you what, some of the cool stuff that you do, especially when I was talking about earlier about the way you frame your jokes.
Okay.
I absolutely love the fact that you leave all these danglers. Like you'll take a joke and you'll stream it out there, and like they're following this obvious path, and you're just like left turning on them with some.
I like to do that. Sometimes it's very clear cut, but sometimes I just like doing something. They're like, what?
Right.
Like, we didn't see that coming. I'm like, yeah, because that's just the way my mind works.
I mean, the best example is your closer.
Yeah.
Like, you're, and I'm not going to ruin what his closer is for everybody, but I'm just saying you're going down this path where everybody thinks they know what you're doing, and then your last punch is like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's completely.
But by the way, that's the way life is. Sometimes
it is.
It really happens like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Where you think everything's going one way, and a lot of my jokes are based on truth with just exaggeration.
Yeah.
So like almost every single one of my jokes, something happened in real life, and then I was like, well, let me just extend it and make it longer to make it an actual joke.
Sure.
But like it's funny because like I've had so many crazy things happen in my life where I'm like, I can't believe that's real. That really happened.
Right.
And so I just that's why I'm not surprised by anything in life anymore. I'm like, all right, that's the way it is.
Right. You totally like look both ways on a one way because you have no faith in humanity anymore.
Dude, when people are like, can you believe someone did this? I'm like, yeah. Everything is possible.
Yeah.
So.
And I talk about on stage about how I process Casey Anthony, and that's completely true. But the thing that people don't understand is the same week that Casey Anthony originally got pinched, there was a couple in the newspaper that literally put their baby in a microwave.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That doesn't shock me.
Turn it on. It cooked their baby, and it never hit the paper. And guess why?
Why?
Because they were fat and ugly. They were fat, ugly, white trash.
Yeah.
No one wanted to see that on the front page. But Casey Anthony's this little cutesy ball. Yeah. So she made the paper. Nothing. Like they both are serving life in Florida for that. Damn. But no one knows anything about that because they're ugly. What kind of an injustice is that? You got to be pretty to do, to be shown up on crimes.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, at least they're doing their time. So all right.
They are.
Well, and everybody knows you can't cook a baby in a microwave.
Right.
you got
to put it in the oven.
Amateur hour.
It's not going to cook evenly.
Come on.
You got to put them in the oven. Come in, be smart, people.
I mean, come on, the brain doesn't even cook it. What are we fucking talking about?
You ever see Snowpiercer? That movie, Snowpiercer?
Yeah.
And he's like, I hate that I know babies taste best. And I'm like, oh my! I was watching. I was like, whoa! Like that line came out of nowhere. I was like, woo! I mean, it's a great movie, but I was like, whoa, that is sad and eerie. And I was
the
like,
psychology in that movie is amazing.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, just go look Snowpiercer with Chris Evans, Captain America. So it's a good movie. But when he said that line, I was like, whew, oh my goodness. But anyway, see, you gotta stick around for the juicy part.
You gotta stick around because here's a bang up question. Okay. Survivor, the reality TV show. Yeah. Would you ever be on it?
I would. I don't think I would. I'm curious. I think first of all, every guy thinks like, I want to just see how I do, and I would want to see how well I do, but actually, I don't think I would survive really.
You don't think so?
No. I mean,
what day would you make it to?
I'd hope I'd make it at least like a week. You know?
Right, so day 7, you're like checking out.
I think like the first few days I can deal with the inconsistency as far as like eating, not being able to eat regularly or being cold or naked. Like being not having a lot of clothes, I'm fine with that. I don't care. I've been to new beaches and I'm like, yeah, I don't care, But it's the food. I'm like, oh man, and being like dirty, I think I can handle being dirty, but just saying like, yeah, you didn't win the challenge, so no food. I'm like, Jesus. I don't know.
Come on, Jeff.
I think I would tap out. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. I mean, it depends. Like, have they raised the money yet, or is it the same? Is it $1 million when you win? Or
well, the thing that I think they're doing different now is like if you make it to the jury, like everybody gets something.
Something, yeah.
But if you make it to the jury, like your dollar amount goes up. Like it used to be second place was like $100,000. I think that's raised now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think all the tiers went up. That's why everybody fights so damn hard. But what day would you make it to?
Buddy, I don't know, but I would be on it in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
man. Just for the publicity, baby.
Just for the publicity.
I'd be that guy just acting a
cracking jokes the whole time.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So
knowing I'm not going to win, man. But
the reason why I bring this up is because I've been asked to go to an open call on it.
What?
So I am
no way.
totally doing that.
You should
I'm
do it.
totally
Dude.
doing it. I'm an ex-Army Ranger, for Christ's sakes. I'm going on that.
Dude, they would love you because you're like, all right, so you got your, been in the military,
Right.
been the police, and you're a comedian. Like, oh, we got to get this guy.
Absolutely. And if there's a small person, I'm just going to eat them. So you better win challenges.
By the way, and I don't think I'm talking out of terms because you make a lot of jokes about your girth and your size.
Absolutely. No,
but
I'm a fat guy.
But you know what I really believe they love, like, hey, we like getting big people because we love at the end if they survive, like, look how much weight he's lost. They love doing that comparison of like, this is their first day. So I think they like that because if you just come up, you show up and you're already ripped, it's like, all right, he's going to lose weight, but it's not going to be a major change. We want to be able to show like this guy went through a journey. Yeah. So like, I think they'd be like, yeah, let's get this guy.
Yeah, totally. And they'd be like, why didn't you lose any weight? I'm like, you remember Carolyn? You don't remember Carolyn? I ate her day 3. That's what happened.
But I would definitely try to. I mean, but for sure, I would
chicken.
Exactly. But for sure, I would never do Naked and Afraid because you don't even make money. They do it for the challenge,
right?
And I'm like, and it's like, I think it's much harder than Survivor.
Totally.
And I'm like, are you? I mean, and by the way, I'm addicted to that show. Anytime I'm in hotels,
Naked and Afraid.
I love that show, and I'm like, these people are insane. And I always try to love guessing, like, all right, who's going to be the one who's going to be like super cocky and then ends up being the one who bails out? Like, is it the guy? Especially when it's a guy being super cocky and it's a really small girl and the girl laughs and the guy quits. Sure. I love that.
Yeah,
of course.
Me too.
But then sometimes if a girl's like, I think they do this on purpose. Sometimes I'll get a girl, I'm like, I don't even think she's like a survivalist. She's like some kind of she's kind of like a stuck-up bitch.
Right.
And I think they do that for ratings.
Sure.
It's like, oh, she's a total socialite. Like, and she's like, okay, so like I'm gonna survive. And I'm like, oh, I think they just did it because like, yeah, we love taunting bitches. Like she's an actual bitch.
Right.
Because like I've seen women, I'm like, why do they accept her?
Yeah.
She's not qualified at all to do this. But whatever. I love that show.
She's like, where's my nail polish?
Yeah,
this isn't gonna work.
I miss my bathroom, and I'm like, yeah, bitch, you're in the jungle. But for sure, that I don't think I'd survive that first night because almost every episode's like, we couldn't sleep, it was too cold, the mosquitoes were biting us, we couldn't sleep. I'd be like, I'm out. I can't just be up for 48 hours and hungry. Like, I'm out. I tap out.
No, it's like that show Alone. Do you ever see that show Alone?
I haven't seen that. Oh, that's even worse.
All right, so literally, it's like you have like they choose you based on your skill set.
Yeah.
Like you have to have some type of survivor skill set, and you're allowed so many items like to have on the like you can pick a knife, you can pick a pan, that kind of thing. But you're by yourself, you're shipwrecked, literally.
Yeah.
And they put you on some deserted place that there's nobody else on, and your job is to survive the longest. Wow. You don't know when people tap out. You don't know anything. All you know is you got to survive.
Right.
And there are people that literally got removed because their body weight and everything was way lower than like they were gonna die. It's like that's a survivor show.
I think psychologically that's worse because you're by yourself.
Yeah.
I think at least when you have a partner, it's like you stay sane.
Right.
When you're by yourself, you're like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's murder.
You probably start getting loopy. Like, I think they forgot about me.
Yeah.
You just think like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah. The human being needs.
Yeah. You need to interact. Yeah, for sure. Which is as comedians, we're on the road all the time, and it's funny because there are times I love the peace and quiet. I love like like some. I mean, I say this. So I've definitely been in relationships where like I'm like, hey, I got go on the road, sweetheart. I'll miss you, but I'm half like, oh, good. I just be by myself for a couple of days. It's like, I love you, babe. I just need some alone time, and like I'm physically not in town, so that's my excuse. But you have to do the act of like, oh yeah, I wish I could take you with me. Bye, bitch. I'm just out of there. Because sometimes when you're in,
an act.
Because when you're in town, it's like, well, I am here, so I can't be like, oh, like I can't make it. I'm like, well, I am here,
right? So
I should go spend time with you. But when you're on the road, it's like, just close that hotel door. Like, there's no one's gonna pop in. I'm like, I got this place to myself. But it's weird. You're like the first few days I enjoyed, but like if I'm doing like a 5-day or 7-day, sometimes some clubs are like Tuesday through Sunday.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if it's a couple of days, I enjoy being alone. The comedian's life. But definitely sometimes when it's a full week, by the middle of the week, I'm like, I'm not really talking to anyone. It's weird, and you realize like you're right. Human beings need interaction.
They need that interaction. Now I don't know about you, but the first thing I do when I go in a hotel room is I get naked because I can't do that all the time. Like I walk around naked in my house. And my wife's like, Jesus, put some pants on. You are scaring the cat. Look what you're doing. The cat is running away.
I mean, I don't get naked, but I do strip down to my underwear. I just like feeling free. I do. That's true. I agree with that. But then I check, you want to make sure, are they bed bugs before I took off my clothes?
Right. Sure.
Like that. But in general, but you're right. Like the whole time, if someone's like knocking, like if if it's like housekeeping and they need to give me something, I'm like, oh crap, hold on, because I got to find my clothes now.
See, I just opened the door. I'm like, what?
What? Come on in. Do we want to clean something? But yeah, it's.
Do you want to clean?
You want to clean something? But yeah, I mean, I fly back to LA tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to seeing my friends on Monday and stuff, and just catching up with people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Elliot, I got a question for you, man. We're talking about reality shows, man. Have you ever got to audition for Last Comic Standing?
I did. I've auditioned for Last Comic and America's Got Talent, and I think those are the two major ones. And obviously, nothing ever happened. But it's weird because I auditioned for Last Comic Standing, and I forgot who hooked me up. I'm very lucky that someone hooked me up where they're like, hey, you don't have to wait online because we know you. It's like, we're just going to give you a slot. I'm like, oh, great.
Sweet.
And when you get a slot, it's like, your slot is in the semifinals not of the show. There's a semifinals to get to the finals to audition for the show.
Wow.
And I'm
there's a tournament before the tournament.
there's a tournament before the tournament,
Oh, wow.
And so, I went up, and I thought I did well, and I was like, all right, But then also, I was like, I think that was the year KT Tatara got on, who's another friend of mine who's very funny, very funny.
He's been in comedy off Broadway.
Yeah, he's hilarious. And I was like, he got on, and I'm like, oh, it might have been. It's not that whether it's someone funnier than the other person, but they're like, look, you're both funny, but basically as far as the demographics, we don't need two Asian dudes. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
You know what it's like? If KT was white, we'd be like, we'd taking you and him. But it's like, well, we got an Asian dude. We need a black dude. We need a gay guy. And I get it. It's a TV show. I get it. So, and that was the last season too. I was like, all right, next season, and then it just never came back. I'm like, crap. And then
I want that to come back so bad.
Oh, it's fun, man. Yeah. I like it when they do a little challenge where you have to say, I think I'm funnier than this person, man.
Yeah.
And
that's
then you have a little heads up competition, man. I mean, it's pretty fun and
that's
intense.
The only thing I'm worried about, because I'm not a cutthroat person, and obviously it's a reality show. They need people to bump heads, and you can tell some people these people are actually friends in real life. They're probably just told guys, just act like you don't like each other.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a mean guy like that. I don't want to be like, you suck, man. I'm like, no, we're all different,
Right.
And same thing. America's Got Talent. I audition, and same thing. They're like, yeah, you don't have to stand online. Just come for the slot. And I didn't get. And again, I'm like, I thought I did really well. I was like, okay. And then what's weird is they allowed once you audition, I remember that it was at the Improv. They made everyone line up outside, but they're like, you can't watch before you perform. We don't want you watching people. Everyone's in the hallway because can we just go in and support our friends? No, we want everyone in the hallway. Once you're done performing, you're allowed to stay in the room and watch everyone else. So it's really interesting because you don't know how anyone did before you, but you know how everyone did after you. And there were some people I'm like, no, they did okay, but I thought I did better. But again, a lot of times I understand it is a reality show,
right?
And it's a casting kind of thing. I'm like, it's a demographic in a weird way, my off-camera interview thing when they're interviewing me about stuff. I'm like, maybe I was too nice. They're like, you know what, we want people who are gonna have a little bit of drama, and I'm like, I'm not really a drama queen.
Right,
I get that a lot, man. You're too nice.
You're too nice.
Too nice.
It's the next mayor of Lexington right there.
I'm like, I'm too nice, but I eat ass, bro.
Nice guys eat ass,
He knows what a penny tastes like.
I try to be. I try to be I want to be measured by the merit of my comedy. So I'm like,
I thought you were gonna say something.
I did too, man. I was waiting.
I want you to measure my cock and then put me on the goddamn show, okay?
I want to be judged by the merit of my cock. Yeah. That's what I thought you were gonna say. That's awesome.
No, but I'm like, I guess in some ways I'm very traditional. I'm like, I hear stories. I'm not gonna name names, but I hear stories of people who are famous now, and people are like, yo, she so and so. She was always she's kind of like a shark. She would come into a room. I'm not gonna name names, but I remember hearing the story about this one person a lot, and it's a very famous person, and they're like, yo, she would come in the room and she knew how to work the game. She had the skill of finding out immediately who the most important person in the room was, industry-wise or fame-wise, and she would go sidle right up to him and schmooze, and she just knew how to do that. And first of all, as a woman, you can do that because you're female. It's a softer energy. As a guy, it's hard to just kind of ingratiate, just bum rush someone, because guys are like, ooh, back up. What is this guy doing?
Right.
Especially if let's say it's a female manager or casting director. As a guy, if you're too abrasive, girls girls are like, get away. But if you're female to female, you can chum up or whatever. And I would hear that, and I'm like, I'm just not that guy. Like, I think I'm very friendly. I'll network for sure. I'll introduce myself, but I'm not the kind of person to like be cutthroat and be like, hey, you know what I heard about so and so? You shouldn't hire him because of this. I'm like, even if it's true, I'm like, I don't want to like back talk and backstab. I'm like, I'd rather just, you see my comedy, you think it's funny, it is. If it's not, it's not.
Right.
Yeah, it's not for me to say that about somebody, man. Just book me because you like my act.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and that's the same thing about comics that are always, cutthroat towards other comics.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
I don't get it.
No, Kevin Hart said it best. He said, "There's plenty of room at the top for everybody." And if you're funny, you got the shtick to do it.
Yeah.
Shit, leave them alone. Cheer them on. Get them up there.
And be supportive. Yeah, because you never know when your friend's going to take off, man, and be able to help you out.
And they'll help you out. And the thing is, like, when I see comics do, like, I have a lot of comic friends I admire. I'm like, dude, I'm not just your peer. I'm like your fan,
Yeah.
And like when you're funny, like I don't get competitive at all. I'm like, good for you. Like you wrote it, so why should I be like mad? I mean, the only like if I say like I get a little jealous, it's not jealousy of competition. It's like, oh man, he's so good. Like I'm jealous because like I need to go home and write better.
Bingo.
You know, like that motivates me. But I don't go like, fuck this guy. I'm gonna start telling lies to take him down. I'm like, no, he's funny.
Right.
I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. So,
The only thing I ever get jealous wise towards other comics is like I'm like, damn, I wish I wrote that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like fuck, that is so obvious, so good.
Yeah.
Wish I fucking wrote that. That's the only time. But it's like I'm not hating on them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, why didn't I fucking think of that?
When I do that, I'm hating myself when I do that. I'm like, I'm such an idiot. Why didn't I do that?
Right.
I think we all have that deep down inside of us too, man. And it's our job to control it, man, and to realize what it is, man, and like use it as motivation.
Sure,
man.
I mean, we're all vessels for comedy. Is like this weird universal energy creature. It's like we're all vessels. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Some of us are a little bit more than others vessels, whatever. But like we're all part of the same group. We're all in the trenches together. So I just don't get that. It's like why would you back? And you hear stories like that all the time. Where I'm like, it's almost like sociopathic. Like how could you do that to someone? It's so weird.
It totally is Yes. Yeah, man. Fucking, this has been awesome, dude.
Oh Jesus, time's just flying by.
Time just like dumped on us, and it just that just shows what kind of a good podcast it was.
We're having a good time.
Absolutely, and dude, we really appreciate you doing this, man.
Thanks again for having me. I appreciate it. And it was a pleasure. It was as you would say, David. It's been an honor and privilege to share the stage with you guys.
Absolutely,
thanks,
and I mean it wholeheartedly. I mean, it's been fantastic. Honestly, I like every time I do a weekend, like I always feel myself grow a little bit, but this weekend's just been different for some reason. Cool. I really felt like, coming off the stage and for the headliner to look at me and go, "You crushed." I was like,
"You did." Though.
I was like, "Fuck, dude." That was fucking awesome. You saying that, and I probably won't ever forget that.
Oh, thanks, man.
I'm gonna come off stage like nights that invariably happen where it's not gonna go as well, and I'm gonna think back and I'm like, "Fucking Eliot Chang's fucking crushed." So
cool, buddy.
No, so that's fucking awesome. So I really appreciate you.
Cool, thank you.
And any final thoughts?
No, just everyone, comedian or not, everyone just be kind to everyone else. I think that's just the easiest thing to do in life. I always say it takes a lot more energy to be an asshole than to be a nice person. You have to work to be an asshole. Yeah. To be nice is real easy.
It sure is.
Just everyone just be nice.
Yeah, I agree with you. David?
No, man, I think we pretty much nailed it, man.
Nice.
Yeah. Just be kind to each other and keep being funny.
Absolutely. You guys, we really appreciate you coming out and checking out this podcast, and we'll have another episode next week. But until then, Eliot Chang, David Williams, my name's Josh Sardam. You guys have a great night.
Thanks, guys.
Later, guys.